Good morning.
Good morning,
Good
everyone.
morning,
It's 6 a.m.
all.
on the 13th of April. And we're happy you're here from wherever you're watching. I'm in Queens, New York right now, in a place that it's 50s, but still too cold for me.
And I'm in Syracuse, New York, another beautiful day in paradise. Day one of a 7-day fast. Water, a little coffee, salt, and no calories. I guess there are little calories in coffee, aren't there? Are there?
It's
There's
like
about
close to
3.
zero.
Minimal.
Yes, there are.
Black coffee
Right?
minimal.
Yes,
Well, I don't know. I mean, if I drink 1,000 cups a day,
exactly.
right? You know,
Your
but
cardiologist might have an issue.
I'm mostly decaf, but I was off coffee for 2 years. I'm back on it, and I'm going to enjoy it.
I enjoy mine, and I use a little raw cream in mine.
Well, I get no cream or butter this week, and I'm working to the fall. I'm gonna do it 2 weeks, maybe 3, to get to the DoctorNelson level. Maybe, I don't know. I think my 5 to 7 days works perfectly quarterly. Leon's here, George is here, Josephine is here, and Nora's here today to share her crazy journey. She had a rough night of sleep. The bed bugs and the sleep bugs are trying to rouse her to get up for the live this morning. Alia, how you doing today?
I'm doing great, thanks.
Do we have any
What have you
announcements, Alia?
We have the Monday night Kiltz Mighty Tribe happening 5:30 p.m. Eastern. Come speak to Dr. Kiltz and Dr. Nelson in person, virtually.
I will be thousands of miles.
Okay,
above
don't talk to
ground.
Dr. Nelson.
Well, I've got an interview at 4:30.
Oh, come hang out with me.
Am I doing an interview of someone, or they do an interview of me today at 4:30?
They're interviewing you, and it's at the Old Spaghetti Warehouse in Syracuse. I'm trying to get an exact address.
Oh, there's only one old spaghetti factory in Syracuse.
Oh, okay, good.
And what are they feeding me?
Not spaghetti. It's actually former patients of yours that want to talk to you.
Let's see. I got Angela Mullins says she's going to be starting fasting tomorrow. I get this, and do I get the wrong? My mice, they keep on running away from me.
While you deal with your mice,
my mice and mouse for spring. What do we got, Dr. Nelson?
we have meat stock at the beginning of May.
Yay!
We probably have the cholesterol code screening in Florida. You know, if sales pick up, if not, we'll have to cancel. We have an Albany meetup.
And we've got to sell a certain number of tickets.
Yeah, we need 111 people.
Or we got to cancel.
We want everybody to come to the Albany meetup. It's going to be awesome.
And then Dr. Kiltz will be in Glastonbury, United Kingdom.
Meat stock.
Montello. There's meat stock somewhere in there. There's Montello in there.
June 16th.
So if we could get
Those are the next 4. I can't feed them all in one image.
All right, but London, England is in June, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Oh,
right. Yeah.
June 6th. That's right. It's the week
Yeah,
before.
June 6th.
All right, that's okay. We're good. How was the game yesterday?
It was great. It was a little bit in the cool side with wind. We were not under the sun. I still got a little bit of sunburn on my face.
Good.
And I don't know. Every time I go to the park, the Mets lose.
But it was still a fun time. And how was the dinner afterwards?
Oh, it was great. So we had a carnivore table and a carb eater table.
It's okay. You mean
we have a bunch of pictures. Louis was there, Leon was there, Star was there, Louis' dad, Louis' wife, and several family members of mine that had no idea that I only eat meat.
Mets
wow.
suck, but meat's good. And let's also send all the pictures to Kiltz Mighty Tribe through Ali or DoctorNelson, and let's get them up for there. They're really great.
Yeah.
All right. What you want to start the day, DoctorNelson? We'll introduce Nora.
Yes, we are going. By the way, Nora, there was a feedback. I don't know if you can try to fix it while this plays. Okay, when you were talking, there was feedback.
Okay.
Consider a woman who spent 10 years in fertility clinics without a single success. She finally achieves 3 natural pregnancies, only to lose all 3 to miscarriage, yet emerges from that decade of grief with a sense of hope that is stronger than ever. Nora Kemmerer joins us on Mighty Morning Live to discuss the specific path she took to navigate that heartbreak. In early 2020, Nora was starting from a massive physical and emotional deficit. She had just finished a 10-year timeline on exhaustive, unsuccessful IVF treatments. A decade of fertility medications and clinical procedures leaves a profound mark, systematically wearing down a woman's body and her resolve. At the same time, she was managing a 20-year dependency on antidepressants, a chemical baseline she had relied on just to get through the day. These two forces converged, 20 years of psychiatric medication overlapping with 10 years of reproductive failure. The breaking point arrived with another failed round of IVF in early 2020, a moment that forced her to reconsider every aspect of her health. At absolute rock bottom, Nora decided to move away from clinical interventions and begin a complete overhaul of her internal biology. That February, she made a radical shift, cutting out all processed foods and sugars. She moved to a strict meat-based, high-fat diet, aiming to provide her cells with a more stable source of fuel. This chart shows the immediate physical response. Over the course of 2020, Nora lost 35 pounds as her body began to stabilize. This change happened just as Nora began working in cardiology in Washington, D.C., precisely when the global pandemic began to strain the medical system. She spent her shifts on the front lines, treating COVID-19 patients daily during the most intense periods of the outbreak. Between March 2020 and September 2021, despite constant high-risk exposure in the ward, Nora never got sick. She attributes this level of resistance to her nutrient-dense diet and her commitment to getting natural sunshine every day. This diagram compares 2 states of her neurological system. Removing the jagged sugar molecules on the left cleared the way for smooth, rhythmic neurotransmitter firing, fueled by fats on the right. That stabilization provided a new level of mental clarity and emotional fortitude. By March 2021, after a year of this metabolic shift, Nora found she had the strength to successfully move off her antidepressants for the first time in 2 decades. Her physical resistance and her mental recovery were results of the same process, giving her metabolic engine the specific fuel it had been missing. This brings us back to her reproductive system, which a decade of traditional medicine had been unable to jumpstart. The 10 years of IVF failures stood in stark contrast to what happened once Nora prioritized a high-fat, meat-based lifestyle. Her body reached a state where she was able to achieve 3 natural pregnancies. While each of those pregnancies ended in miscarriage, the fact that they happened at all represented a significant shift. For Nora, these pregnancies served as a biological signal. After 10 years of clinical failure, her body regained the ability to conceive on its own. Today, she carries a sense of hope backed by her reclaimed health, and she has made it clear that she is not giving up. We welcome Nora Kemmerer to the Kiltz Mighty Tribe, a woman who took control of her biology to face her most difficult challenges. Healing is the process of building a foundation so deep that the spirit remains steady, regardless of the obstacles that remain.
Wow. That was an amazing intro. Thank you.
I'll send it to you. I'll email it to you later.
Awesome.
So
Awesome.
Nora, go ahead and introduce yourself and fill in the rest of the story from that we just witnessed.
Alrighty, so I am Nora Kemmerer. I got married in 2012, and my husband and I immediately started to have our family that we had dreamt of together. And in 2013, a year after of trying, nothing was working naturally, we sought out treatment. And they said that the only way that I could get pregnant was to have bariatric surgery. Unfortunately, I was 300 pounds at that time and unable to function. So, of course, my body didn't really want to get pregnant at that time. I did have bariatric surgery that did not yield in a pregnancy, unfortunately. However, I did lose 100 pounds. Fast forward to 2017, I heard through the grapevine that keto for fertility was working wonders for people. However, I don't think I did it properly. I did enjoy those keto treats, probably a little too often. I did this all on my own though. So 2017, my husband and I really started getting into weightlifting and starting to clean up our diet a little bit. Yep. We built a home gym that has been game changing for us. Love our home gym. Let's see. So we still weren't pregnant and enter 2019. And after going through IUIs, a couple of fertility clinics, we moved to Northern Virginia, and someone on social media suggested CNY Fertility Clinic. So 2019, I started with Dr. Kiltz's clinic, and unfortunately we had a few failed embryo transfers. And at my follow-up call with Dr. Kiltz, actually, in I believe it was January 2020, I said, Dr. Kiltz, I've done it all. I've lost the weight. I have done the fertility treatment. What is next? What's left for me? And now I hadn't awoken to Western medicine. I hadn't awoken to super clean eating, processed foods. I hadn't gone down all those rabbit holes yet. And Dr. Kiltz said, Nora, carnivore. What, beef, butter, bacon, eggs, the BB diet. So working in cardiology, I've now been in cardiology almost 16 years. And I was like, cardiology, I mean, meat, ribeyes, what are you talking about? But I trusted him and I was desperate. So I went all in February, March 2020 with the carnivore diet. And that led to me questioning everything in my life. Oh my goodness, plastics, my air quality, my water quality. Over the next year, I wound up overhauling everything in my life. I went completely non-toxic. Of course, we were in this lockdown in 2020, so I had a great time with the carnivore diet. We bought a pellet smoker and just had a blast with all these meats. I didn't track anything at that time. I wasn't tracking my hormones. I just had fun with it. And I actually lost 35 pounds not trying, just eating meat, enjoying life, getting outside, sunshine. Let's see. I fast forward to 2021. We had still not been successful with the pregnancy, and I was starting to question medications. I went down the route of, could these antidepressants be affecting my body? And I had been trying to get off of them in the past without success. I was still eating sugar prior to 2020 when I had tried to get off of them, and I did not feel safe. However, I worked with a naturopathic doctor in spring 2021, a year after being on the carnivore diet. And within 6 months, I was able to successfully get off of these antidepressants that I had been on for 2 decades. I had started on them in my mid-teen years, unfortunately. So thanks to the carnivore diet, I was able to get off of those and have been completely med-free. I did have my last round of IVF in late 2021, and it was the same week I walked out of the hospital system with work. I left DC September 30th, 2021, and that same week, my body stopped becoming responsive to all IVF meds. It just shut down. We had doubled my meds and my body said, no, we're done. So I took that as a sign and I said, okay, I'm going all in. I am going to stick with my meat-based diet, carnivore diet. And we did wind up having 3 pregnancies between April 2023 and Christmas 2024, thanks to healing my body. So that's where I'm at today. Still pushing forward, and I did turn 40 December 28th this past year.
Young.
Thank you.
Young.
So there is one component left that I have not addressed this entire time, and I will get into that in a little bit. But that has been my journey so far.
If you have any questions for Nora, put them in the chat, please.
I know I threw a lot at you.
How the hell are you still in the game doing this?
What exactly do you do?
Oh, I do ultrasounds of the heart.
Okay.
And now I am a private contractor. I am my own boss because I refuse to participate in certain things that most healthcare facilities require. So I go to private practices who I want to work with. Now, there is one cardiologist y'all might find interesting. He and I have had the cholesterol talk, what causes heart disease, and I feel morally okay working with him. I drive out to the country every Tuesday, Wednesday to do all of his echocardiograms. He believes that it's inflammation that is the big driver to heart disease, and it's not cholesterol. So that has been fascinating working with him and discussing metabolic disease. And yeah, I get to talk to my patients about how to reverse all of these chronic diseases instead of pushing pills. So yeah, I do ultrasounds of the heart all day, every day for right now.
How many of those are abnormal findings? How many are normal?
In his practice, very few. Thankfully, this doctor only orders tests if they're actually needed. This other practice I work with will order echoes and pass them out like candy.
So are echoes finding mostly normal findings in the group that's doing on most people?
Mostly abnormal. I'm finding a lot of abnormal findings. Yes. Heart disease, heart failure, anything heart related is through the roof right now.
Test. Is it expensive?
The test? Yes.
Mm.
Insurance
How much?
gets a lot of money for these.
No. How much? Like, do you do, like, if I wanted to get this echocardio test by you, what's it cost for cash?
Oh, I don't know, to be honest.
So you only do insurance?
So I work with practices.
Got
I
it,
don't
got it,
actually-
got it.
Yeah. Sorry.
So the practice is charges, and then they pay her for her services.
Yes, correct. Yes.
Right. So is it a test potentially helpful for everyone because it's non-invasive?
Correct.
And I mean, what's a CT angiogram or CAC score? It's a lot less money today than it was.
Yes.
And maybe the cardiac echo could show you it says here's what your heart looks like.
Yes, it is a brilliant test. It is non-invasive whatsoever, minimal exposure. It's just sound waves. And sometimes it can take as little as 20 minutes. So you get a full picture of the inside of your heart, everything that's going on, not your coronary arteries.
How predictive is the echo of heart disease? Maybe Dr. Nelson knows this.
Well, it depends what you're talking about. A CAC score and an echo are looking at different things. Absolutely the same thing. And the the CAC score can be $50 to $100 in many places. An echo is a little bit more expensive. And the technologies has a lot of influence on how good the echocardiogram actually is.
Yes.
They have to be very good at but they do measure different things. So
one
as
looks
far
at
as-
the outside, one looks at the inside. I'm
Yeah.
looking at the inside.
Well, but quite commonly, you go to a stress cardiac echo from a CAC score CT angiogram. They don't send you to a angiogram.
Mhm.
And so, how predictive is this test? Because that's the next test that they usually do. And if you do well on the stress echo, they send you away. You're fine. See you later. Is it that good?
So you're talking about a stress echo versus just a regular echo. So the stress echo is more looking at, are there any blockages surrounding the heart?
How can
That
it
is-
find a blockage? Is it a blockage or it's finding dysfunction that is indicative of blockage?
That's a better
maybe-
phrase. Yes. Yes. You're correct.
How good is it, Dr. Nelson? Maybe someone else knows how good it is. Didn't we have one of our good friends had passed everything and then had a heart attack that next week?
Yeah. So with stress tests, okay, they're very, very accurate when they are abnormal. The sensitivity when they are normal, they don't, they could mean it's great and the person could die of a heart attack the next day. But again, they're looking at different things.
I would say the most accurate for blockages, you would have to do the heart cath. But how often are they ordering that? Everything would have to be abnormal in order to go that route. And you don't know for sure until you do that heart cath, which is invasive.
And as you and I talked to Avadia just the other day, a CT angiogram is very, very accurate test, except for certain things.
But I don't know that we
Audio.
know that. I
Yes,
always
yes.
wonder because if you're not doing an angiogram, how many people?
How do you know?
Again, it would be if all the people that get a CT angiogram and you watch them for a year, how many people get a heart attack? Versus an angiogram or die, and again, it's we're looking for something that is really giving us. I mean, that's what we're looking for. We spend a lot of money on tests. Probably 99% of the tests are irrelevant.
Yes. Yes. Agree.
Some cues up there already, Dr.
Yeah,
Nelson?
Brian Ari, how did your family and friends react to your life change?
They thought I was insane. I didn't share it openly at first. I wanted my results to speak for themselves, and they did. My mom actually started the carnivore diet in 2023 after watching me for 3 years. She had great success on it. Everyone else just kind of watches what I do, and that's about it. Friends have been open to it. A lot of people have gotten off of processed foods because of my carnivore diet. Yes, and that's my biggest takeaway from this is just get off the processed foods. But I've had a lot of support with friends, thankfully.
Have you noticed any cycle changes, pain, bloating,
Yes.
any other sort of generalized symptoms?
So prior to carnivore, my cycles were insanely painful. I would be laid up on the couch and could not move. I couldn't function. When I took away the sugar and the inflammatory foods, I barely noticed my cycles. It has been great. And when I started tracking my hormones in spring 2023, and I started playing around with my progesterone because I have been trying to increase that. And I have noticed that the more saturated fats I intake, my progesterone goes up.
When you use the word saturated fat,
Butter,
are you talking about
butter?
Animal fat?
Yes. Yes.
I mean, I just wonder if we should just change all these phrases, because
animal fats, yes.
Animal fats versus plant seed oils.
Oh.
I mean, that's the real distinction here.
Okay.
I mean, I'm just trying to get our language a little bit cleaner. Maybe that's why we got the new Kiltz vocabulary.
I'm working on it.
So animal fats up, progesterone up. That was huge. So a tablespoon of butter with every meal was all that I added. And I noticed my numbers started going quite high.
Have you had the laparoscopic procedure? Has anyone talked to you about that?
I've had it all.
Did it find anything?
I had a couple fibroids and then stage 1 endometriosis, which was removed.
How about the fibroids? Did they remove them?
They were benign. That's what they said, at least.
Did they remove them?
No.
Oh, how do you know they're benign if you don't remove them? Again, we look with our eyes, but we didn't look under a microscope either, did we?
I guess not.
I removed the 6 centimeter fibroid from my daughter, and then she got pregnant.
Well, maybe I need to come see you again.
Well, I didn't know. You know, again, fibroid depends on the size and location too, but I just wonder about all this stuff. I mean, you know, what causes fibroids, endometriosis, endometritis, polycystic ovarian syndrome, infertility? What is it? I don't know.
I have a key. I think I know for me personally, if you want me to get into that right now.
Let's dig deep into the Nora Kemmerer theory and hypothesis of infertility.
What is the one thing that we don't always address? Stress and the role it plays on our bodies. I started taking call at the hospital in 2011. My sleep started getting disrupted. I noticed things started getting off at that point, but never digging into it, you know, looking back. My stress has gotten worse and worse, especially 2020, 2021, when things like that happened with COVID. And happiness, purpose, you know, searching out those things in life. So I'm actually ending my career over it. I stopped believing in my career in 2021. I'm just not happy. As much as I've tried to reshape my brain, I have been happy creating meals at home, taking care of the house, the yard. I've got another business endeavor I'm doing. So yeah, slowing down with life. I've always been go, go, go and nonstop. And it's been work and fertility treatment. It's been doubling down on work. I see up to 80 patients a week. I will go 4 to 5 days without seeing the sun. So now, after all this time, I have decided to slow down and focus on healing my brain completely. So that's where I'm at, is really focusing on the mental aspect, the stress, and seeing where that takes me. Morning sun.
What do you think was the stress level 50,000 years ago on the savannah?
Probably pretty high.
What if there is no stress out there, but it's in here?
I think it's in there, definitely.
Have you used any spiritual practices to change the stress? Not yet.
Not as much as I would like to. I'm a little mad at God right now, and I'm working on that. Yeah.
Well, you know, so the secret in my book, The Fertile Secret, is there's no God out there. God is in the mirror. And the secret, the fertile secret, is about faith in ourselves and joy in our lives, even in the hardships, challenges, and stress and struggles and the pain, the darkness. There's this guy, Christ. You ever heard of him?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he wrote some magical words and wisdom. And I'm working on getting this copy of my favorite book, Christ-Based Teachings to Everyone, written by Don Curtis. And then I wrote a book kind of on a little bit off of his book, and what I think is like the most important is carnivore. Now, you don't have to eat only meat, by the way. You can be a vegan vegetarian too. But Dr. Nelson, what historical societies, cultures have thrived for thousands of years on plants only? Cows.
Of
Cows.
humans, you mean?
Oh, yeah, well, I did mean that, but I was hoping that, because Dr. Nelson, he shows up and the humor shows up. Kiltz is, but I was once mad at God until I realized I'm only mad at myself. And love, is the adventure of the universe, to bring love into all of it, right? All of it.
And enjoying life. And
Who practices more Western medicine than anyone you know?
You.
I do. I don't throw it away either. It integrates together as one. Eastern and Western medicine come together. It's the dark and the light.
Yeah.
And ultimately, what if the answer is sitting right in front of you? Because that's where my book, The Fertile Secret, comes in, and The Fertile Feast and Babies for Babies, which is all the science you and I have been learning. It's all blown up when we recognize that he's been there all along, and he loves us.
Yeah.
We'll do the next question. Tracy Joe Hill, is that the same as cardiac MRI?
Cardiac MRI is a 3D view of the heart, and I would say that's even more accurate. That's looking more at cause. So my test is pretty much the baseline. So this is the easy one that tells a lot that will lead to more testing. So it's kind of the first line of defense. Yeah.
Although there's only one test that tells us you have heart disease.
What test is that?
Well, it's either a heart attack or dysrhythmia.
Oh.
But I mean, how good is an angiogram? Are there people that die at 100 with complete LAD blockage? And they've had it for 20 years.
Yes. Because the body is brilliant and will start to form different arteries surrounding the blocked artery. Yeah. And it will reroute itself.
It's a capillary regrowth, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Gratitude will save your life. The gratitude attitude, vitamin G, Benazati.
I love that. Benazati. Yes.
Benazati. But, again, who's been writing about it for 20 years? Oh, 100 years, 1,000 years. Oh, infinite years. Yes, you're right, Alia. We all are. It's God's way. Christ.
Have you noticed a difference in the test you perform on people on the carnivore? So I have chatted with a lot of people who have had, heart disease and then have turned to carnivore. And yes, they have been able to improve their heart function and get off of a lot of cardiac drugs because of this diet. So yes, there has been a difference.
Okay. Grandma Nina 25, what is the best protocol for a 60-year-old female on carnivore with aortic aneurysm of 4.7 that has been stable for a year and a half?
Keep up with the anti-inflammatory diet. And I would just get an echo done, it depends on where the aneurysm is. I do visualize the aorta from 4 different views, but it is not the entire aorta. So I would follow up probably every 6 months to a year to make sure that it is not enlarging at all and just staying stable. I had a 90-year-old with an aneurysm of 9 that had remained unchanged. I don't know how they did not operate, but he felt great. So yeah, 9. Don't let it get to there. But
what did Einstein die of?
That I don't know.
Ruptured aneurysm. He refused to get it fixed. He said, "Thank you, no thank you."
They can repair it very easily nowadays. 4.7 is moderate, and I'm not giving medical advice whatsoever, but I would monitor it.
You know, you could ask ChatGPT and it'll give you information. Why can't we speak our opinions?
Yeah.
I'm not a doctor at this moment.
Let's do this question. What about your mental clarity and personality? Any change?
Mental clarity for sure, especially getting off of my antidepressants. That was huge. My husband said, "Wow, you're feeling big time now." That was a nice change. So the fogginess really lifted once I got rid of sugar. And, you know, I've had a treat occasionally, and I do notice that I don't feel as good as I would like. So white refined sugar does not enter my diet whatsoever. I do allow, I follow more of a Weston A. Price diet right now. Definitely 80% meat still to this point. But
what's your plant of choice?
Sauerkraut.
Okay, so it does meat or sauerkraut contain sugar?
No.
Yes, they do.
Oh, they do. Okay.
They do. All things you eat contain sugars, all of them.
So is it just the amount that's the problem?
Well, I mean, quote, simple sugars came from honey or fruit, right? But they were so simple sugars, honey, or maple syrup. But I mean, was it easy to collect maple syrup? Who was out there hunting for maple syrup?
Correct.
Maybe Dr. Nelson knows when we first started collecting maple syrup.
I have no idea.
And who did you say to send to go get the honey? I mean, you know, it's like agriculture. Before that, it wasn't there of much consistency, right? So ultimately, processed plants, which we've extracted the sugars, but is sugar, as we buy it from the store, pure glucose?
No. Okay.
Does it contain other plant substances that may be drug related?
Yes.
That may have effects on our body in ways that we don't even think about. Is glucose the energy of the mitochondria, Dr. Nelson?
Sometimes it is. So if you're asking me, I know
Dr.
you don't
Nelson,
have the same
does
opinion.
glucose directly go to the mitochondria, provide ATP energy?
Neither does fat. It's acetyl-CoA is what goes into the mitochondria.
Glucose must be converted to pyruvate in the cytoplasm. So glucose is not a direct energy producer. Acetyl-CoA. And if you have no fat on your body, how long will you last?
It is acetyl-CoA, which you can get from fat, amino acids, and glucose.
But you cannot get glucose or amino acids except if you have insulin and a functional liver. This is the science that Dr. Nelson is helping Kiltz share with the world in a way that is radically different than everyone else that's speaking out there. So I thank Dr. Nelson for that. Go ahead. Next question, Alia.
Odin is wondering if Dr. Kiltz is still carnivore or did he get scared off because of the crease in CAC?
I don't know. On Saturday, we were eating. He spent a lot of time in the salad bar.
I did go to the salad bar. I grabbed all the butter they had, a little bit of Parmesan, and a piece of salmon, which I didn't eat the salmon, but I brought the butter back for everyone. And Miss Meat, Christina shared my Parmesan cheese. I rarely have some French fries dipped in sour cream with the grease from the steak all over it, cooked in duck grease, lard, or tallow. And the question is, how is sugar metabolized in the bloodstream? If you have no insulin, can you metabolize sugars?
That I don't know.
You will die. You will not. If you have a very cirrhotic dysfunctional liver, can you make fat? You cannot. You see, the Petri dish science says glucose is your energy. Well, that's the sugar-centric scientism of Jeffrey Island, the lie of science. The published textbooks that claim the metabolic pathways are what they are, but that's the lie. Next question.
Next question. What does your daily food intake look like now? That's for you, Nora.
So I make everything from scratch pretty much. I make my own breakfast sausage. I grind up a pork
Produces
butt.
a lot more energy.
Oh. I'm sorry?
What happened?
So
What was that comment?
Dr.
Dr.
Nelson.
Nelson?
Well, you do get a whole lot more energy from fat. You were talking about.
You get no energy from glucose directly. You must convert it to fat in the liver, or you cannot get energy from it. That's why a cirrhotic and a type 1 diabetic dies. It really is simple science. But again, some of us hold on to the metabolic pathways that we were taught in the textbooks, which it's really hard to let go of the propaganda. Because how come a cirrhotic is skinny despite eating glucose and dies emaciated? Because you can't make fat.
Interesting.
And who eats fat? What is the standard diet around the globe? What was the standard diet that we're all taught? Alia, Dr. Nelson, Nora?
Low fat, high protein, lean meats,
Fruit,
and
fiber, vegetables, seeds, nuts, salad, pasta, pizza, bread, chicken, fish, and turkey.
Yeah.
Filet mignon. Okay, what is all that missing?
Fat.
Animal fat. Fat.
For brains, for hormones.
No, for everything.
Yeah. Building blocks.
And the microbes ferment amino acids and sugars, and they're suppressed in a fat world. When you eat fat, you suppress the microbes. But when you don't eat fat, you stimulate the sugars. You eat a lot of sugars and amino acids, which ferment, and the microbes go crazy. I mean, our one guy that was one of the most magical guys ever was Salisbury, right? And again, it's really hard to understand the fact that the metabolic science is wrong. It's hard for us to claim that. Next question.
All right. What do you think caused the increase in your CACs? Then I'm about to jump back on carnivore, and I'm wondering if you still think carnivore can heal heart problems.
Well, number one is, can we predict who's going to die when of what, Dr. Nelson?
No.
Can't. And so, I mean, I'm 70. What are the odds a 70-year-old around the globe that's eaten a standard diet for the first 55 years has zero heart disease?
Very little.
All right. So have we proven that the CAC score predicts when you're going to die of what? No. But and then the CT angiogram showed some calcifications and narrowing, but good flow. What does that mean? Do you know, Nora?
Good flow. I would say keep doing what you're doing.
But how long is that predictive of that I won't die of a heart attack in a year, 5 years, or 10 years?
No test does, from my knowledge.
Dr. Nelson, you agree with that?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
Oh, how good is that CT angiogram or CAC score predicting whether I'm going to live a year, 5 years, or 10 years, and what I'm going to die of?
Absolutely not. We can just predict.
Guesstimate.
For a group of people that maybe a percentage will have something, but individually there is impossible to ascertain whether you're going to live just 1 year and 10 years. A good article you sent on the longevity the other day.
What was it?
It was from the Washington Post, and basically longevity studies really
they're bunk. And so back to that question, I am still carnivore. I do my 1 meal a day, fatty meat, salt water. I have some fries sometimes, some ice cream sometimes. I'm doing my 5-day fast right now. I'm back on coffee. I have an extra filthy, dirty sips of martini sometimes. I drive cars, planes, jets, and I live with another human being sometimes. And I work with Dr. Nelson and Alia, and I'm live every morning, and I get yelled at every day.
By the way, thank you for the super chat.
Yes. Oh, but bring that back up.
All right.
And do we have a Patreon page?
No, but we
need a Patreon page. We need a GoFundMe page on KMT that people can help and support us to bring people into the coaching courses. Keep it affordable. I'm asking Dr. Nelson and Alia to help work more in the CNY Fertility, CNY Healing Arts, to help me share my message of why glucose and amino acids require insulin and a liver to make fat and to be energy.
Yes. I want to go back to the question.
To help me with, for us to go around the globe and blow up the metabolic science that I call Petri dish scientism.
Yes. You never got a chance to finish this one, Nora. You never got a chance to answer this.
Okay. So for breakfast, my husband makes me an omelet, and I will eat 2 to 3 eggs with some homemade breakfast sausage. Lunch would be some burger patties with a slice of cheese. Dinner for winter, I have been enjoying. This is where my meat-based comes in. I will allow some peppers and onions because they don't seem to affect me that I know of. So I have been enjoying chilies.
That you know of. Get rid of them. Get rid of them. I enjoy heroin too.
But we do love our ribeyes every night. We smoke them for an hour and then do sear them on the grill, and that has been a big treat during the warmer months.
Peppers are bad for us. What do they contain?
Anti-nutrients.
capsaicin,
Capsaicin.
and other substances that cause infertility. It damages post-translational modification, which is the hidden science, and the glycocalyx, which is the hidden science, because we just want to hold on to what they tell us is true, don't we?
Yeah.
And again, there's so much in there that people don't understand. How much cyanide can kill you? How much ricin could kill you?
Probably a little
Like,
bit.
a little microscopic component of that will kill you. How much will cause your embryos or your sperm and egg not to come together or implant? Tiny, tiny, tiny amounts. How do you cook your meat?
In bacon fat, if we're doing it indoors, or on the smoker.
So where's the fat?
In the meat.
It's melted away. It's rendered. It's gone. Most of us, again, I know it's crazy. Most of us are, now again, the question is, why do people eat a shitty diet and have babies?
I don't know.
I don't either.
I can't wrap my head around. Well, why do drug addicts get to have babies? I don't know.
Because God always punishes us, but the differences are in different things. But remember, this is the hard part. What if everyone's on their journey of God's love journey, and we're just trying to realign with the beauty of God and the understanding that our thoughts create all things, and the mindset is the master set. And that's why
agree with that.
I'm a mom, I'm a dad, I'm a parent. I eat fatty meat, salt water, 1 meal a day, but I eat raw fatty meat. Why? Because when you cook it, where does the fat go? It's gone. It's rendered. It's not the same. It's really radical, right? What if, bingo, small amounts of capsaicin or peppers, I don't know, again, I'm sharing a crazy concept. And who's probably one of the most craziest carnivores?
You.
I don't care. But the science is wrong. The keto carnivore world's got it all wrong. You can eat some plants, by the way. But if you're sick, fasting and raw meat will save you.
Yes.
Chris Brandlin talked about Sophia Clemens. We got to get Sophia Clemens back on. It's been a while since we've had her on, which really is a game changer. Game changer.
Oh, we got a little bit of time for another question.
Oh, yeah, and then we'll do what's our gift today?
Oh, the hat you're wearing.
Oh, my hat particularly?
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
it's got a little bit of dark, a little sweaty stuff in there.
Let's see. Nazar is asking, per Dr. Lehman, fasting is not a good idea. It reduces skeletal muscle due to lack of protein or amino acid. Please show us the right way. I am in India. Heart, sir. Love.
All bullshit. All bullshit. I mean, we're built to fast. A bear that fasts builds babies, loses no muscle mass or bone mass. That's a scientism. Itises, osises, and isms. Wrong. We are built to fast. Your skeletal muscle is never lost. You might lose intramuscular fat, but as long as you got body fat, you're in good shape. But when you lose all body fat, where do you end up? In the grave. And remember, the domesticated dictators of the world want you to be a slave, soldier, peasant, prisoner, or a physician that follows the scientific rules.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't do that. Hey, Amy.
Dr. Kiltz, when are we giving away your jet?
Oh, we'll give away a trip one day.
Okay.
One day.
One day we'll give away a trip.
One day or
He's a
another.
Magic man. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Please email me, Alia at drkiltz.com. You know what to do.
And I'm grateful to Dr. Nelson and Alia to help make this happen. The great videos and productions and taking much of my content and making it so we can share it. And Nora, thank you for sharing. It's not easy to share these stories, is it?
Right.
It helps me, to be honest. I have created a community thanks to sharing. And to be honest, you asked me what keeps me going. And this community that I have formed online has been so supportive over the years. They pray for me. They keep me going. They keep the positivity going.
Where can someone find you if they want to talk to you?
My handle is denormalize your life everywhere. So I have denormalized my entire life. And so I created my handle on it.
Hey, Alia, is there a way we can begin to think about linking to Kiltz Mighty Tribe, everyone's formats, or at least the people who are coming on, like Nora's? Are we on with hers today?
Everyone should be able to if it's set up early.
But we want to be the ones to instigate that.
Okay,
right?
We will make sure,
and,
yes.
And like, that's so important. Mitch is coming to the house on Thursday. Excited about that. I'm leaving for Sarasota on Wednesday, and excited about going to England, to South Africa and Australia to share the wisdom and the words in the way. And I'm, again, grateful to everyone here. Let's get our Patreon or GoFundMe so we can fund more people for the mission, because we're here for you, by the way, all of you. And we appreciate all those super chats and everything. Dr. Nelson, when are you on live this week?
Tomorrow at 3.
What days of the week?
Tuesdays and Thursdays, 3 p.m.
And then we're on Mondays together at 5:30 p.m. I'm going to try to link up. Maybe I'll do it from the Spaghetti Warehouse right after my Spaghetti Warehouse interview. They're interviewing me, right?
That's right. That's right.
I just wore my pajamas.
You could.
And to all of our super chats and everyone here, again, no money's required. We should just have, again, the likes, subscribes, and the shares. Really important in this world. And let's share all the pictures from our meetups around the globe, and we're going to put them all together. And either Kiltz or Ali or Dr. Nelson will be at every one of them. One of us, if not all of us, and we're really working to increase the investment from the team to help us keep and make this affordable so we don't have to charge for a membership. That's really important, that we want to kind of, again, GoFundMe, Patreon, affiliates. We're grateful for our Salter products, Kiltz Health products, and our molecular health products. And again, yes, we're selling stuff.
Because that's how it works.
That's how it works.
All right, everybody. Thanks so much for being here. See you all tomorrow.